Gwen Tennyson, you say? Might be tricky because of one tiny little retcon to her entire character. But I think I found a solution for that. Shall we begin? Greetings, my dear viewers. It is I, Drahon, and welcome back to Pathfinder Hero Flux. That is Flux, short for fluctuation. I have to keep saying that at the start of each of these videos just in case, because when I don't, YouTube strikes my video for whatever reason. Probably because of my voice. Anywho, today we are doing Gwen Tennyson from the Ben 10 animated series. Well, technically Ben 10 franchise. She is Ben's cousin. If you didn't know that. She is a totally normal, average human girl. In the original series, she fought against the spellcaster known as Charmcaster, and was able to learn magic after taking her spellbook. Then, in later series, Alien Force, Omniverse, Ultimate Alien, she had a major change to her character. She became what is known as an Anodite, a being made out of pure mana, or the life energy made out of pure magic. This was definitely a retcon that did not need to happen. I ranted a little bit about this already, if you follow my community page. But in short, this retcon did not need to happen. It makes everything stale. She was already very unique when she was just a normal spellcaster. It made things diverse, and I loved it. Having everybody in the show be Ben was annoying. It got very annoying very quickly. Ben already had the Omnitrix. He was already taking up the role of alien transformations. Kevin 11 had a mutant power that let him absorb things. That was awesome. Then he got retconned. He's a type of alien that automatically gets these things. Not necessary. Gwen, Ben's human cousin, who is a fast study, so she decided, after facing off against a very powerful spellcaster, that she needed to be in the fight as well by being able to counteract any future spellcasters by learning spells herself. Nothing needed to change there. That was great. I'm already ranting too much, so let's go ahead and continue. Starting off with our starting stats, go ahead and increase your dexterity, intelligence, wisdom, and charisma all to a 12. Next is our ancestry and heritage. Now, I was going to be very, very petty and go with the Konrasu, since that is technically lore accurate, because the Konrasu are shards of cosmic force given consciousness. And since the Anodites are constructs of pure mana, it fit 95%. It was a sort of a 0.9 to 0.9. Well, a 0.9 to 1. However, I decided to not go this route since the Konrasu's cosmic force latches on to plant matter in order to give them a physical form that keeps them alive. This one just did not make sense for the Anodite. And seeing as the Anodites reproduce by, well, having relations with a human or other type of alien being, and that offspring is that species until they become of age, where they can become their Anodite form, I thought that this would be the perfect opportunity to still keep Gwen human. But we still have that sort of heritage going to the Anodite. And what we needed was something that was similar. So while this isn't our normal 85% accuracy, I think the best fit for Anodite is going to be the heritage of Aphorite. The beings of cosmic law. You could actually learn a little bit about the Aphorites in my video talking about their versatile heritages. But in short, this was the closest thing I can get. I probably could have gone with Osama, but I thought that Aphorite would fit a little bit better with a being made out of pure magic. I could have gone with any of the Geniekin, but they were more elemental energy instead of magical energy. So, Aphorite was the best bet. This will give for us, since we are a human, a +2 to our intelligence and +2 to our charisma. 8 hit points to start out with, a speed of 25 feet. Languages is going to be common, plus 1 additional language, plus our intelligence modifier worth of extra languages. And we will learn what that modifier is when we get to our class at level 1. We also get low light vision thanks to the Aphorite heritage, and we get an ancestry feat. I'm just going to go with haughty obstinance. She has a very powerful ego, and later on in the series, she does learn to stave off mental effects. She didn't have this ability when she first started, before she met Charmcaster. But once she started learning her spell, she learned how to stave off any sort of mind control. We even see that in the later series. Next is our background. Like I said in the beginning, Gwen is a quick study, and she is very much intelligent, unlike her cousin Ben. She is book smart, so we want to go with the background of bibliophile. This will give us the increase to our stats of constitution and intelligence. We become trained in the skills arcana and library lore, and we get the free feat of arcana sense, letting us use detect magic at will. When we become a master in arcana, the spell becomes heightened to 3rd level. When we're legendary, it is a 4th level detect magic. Now for our class. Obviously, we are using a book to cast our spells, so we are going to go with the wizard class. This will increase our intelligence to an 18, giving us a +4 to our intelligence. So for that language, we'd get 4 additional languages for a total of 6 languages. For our arcane school, I would recommend Conjuration, since a lot of Gwen's spells, or any spell in general that Gwen uses, or even the Anodites will use, are some form of construct, so she'd be conjuring them. You might argue abjuration, but more often than not, it's going to be some sort of conjuration magic. You also get your Arcane Bond and Arcane Thesis. We're going to go with Metamagic Experimentation. And for our first Metamagic Experimentation, we are going to go with the Reach spell, giving us the ability to extend its range by 30 feet. For our extra hit points, it'll be equal to 6 plus our Constitution modifier, which is currently just a +1. We are trained in Perception, we are also trained in Fortitude and Reflex saves, and we are an expert in Will saves. For our skills, we're going with Athletics, Acrobatics, Diplomacy, Nature, Occultism, Society, and Survival. For our attacks, we are trained in Club, Crossbow, Dagger, Heavy Crossbow, and Staff. For defenses, we are not not trained in any armor type, but we are trained in unarmored defense. For our spell casting, we get access to the arcane spell list. We have a spell book. Our spell attack is currently a +7, and we have a spell DC of 17 as of right now. Moving on to level 2, we are going with the class feat of Spellbook Prodigy and the skill feat Bon Mot. At level 3, we are going to be experts in the Arcana skill and get the feat Canny Acumen and pick Perception. At level 4, we're going to get the class feat of Counterspell and the skill feat of Dubious Knowledge with the metamagic experimentation of Non-Lethal Spell. While Gwen does know how to sling her spells, she does not do so to kill. She will incapacitate at best, and probably give a couple broken bones, but that's not besides the point. At level 5, go ahead and increase your Dexterity, Constitution, and Wisdom each by 2, and increase your Intelligence by 1, since it's going from 18 to 19. We are now experts in Occultism, and we're going for the Ancestry feat Astrology. And we also have Lightning Reflexes just for being a level 5 wizard. Moving on to level 6, we are going for the class feat Spell Penetration. And we also get the skill feat of Assurance, and we are picking Arcana. At level 7, we are masters in the Arcana skill. We're going to grab the feat of Incredible Initiative, and we also are an expert spellcaster. At level 8, looks like I forgot to set something. We are going with the class feat of Sorcerer Dedication, and we are trained in Deception and Intimidation with the bloodline, as you can now see on screen, of Aberrant. Yep, I forgot to do that. That was incorrect. Okay, so now we know we are doing the Sorcerer Dedication with the Aberrant bloodline. We're going with the skill feat of Hobnobber. Next is the level 9 wizard. We are going with the expert skill of Library Lore with the ancestry feat of Aeromancer, giving us access to the 4th level spell Fly, which we do a lot as an Anodite. We also have access to Magical Fortitude. At level 10, go ahead and increase your Dexterity, Wisdom, and Charisma each by 2, and increase your Intelligence by 1. You are now trained in Medicine, and you're going to get the class feat of Basic Bloodline Spell, and the skill feat Magical Shorthand. At level 11, we are now masters in the Occultism skill. We're going to get the feat of Fleet, a very important feat no matter who you're building. We're going to grab Alertness and the Wizard Weapon Expertise. At level 12, we're going with the class feat of Overwhelming Energy and the skill feat of Steady Balance. You might not think this is important since she is going to be flying around a lot and using her magic to stay off of the ground for some of the fight. But there are times when Gwen's magic is suppressed, so she's going to have some form of acrobatic means of getting around a certain obstacle. So having Steady Balance makes the most sense for Gwen. Moving on to level 13, we are now experts in the Society skill. We're going to grab the Ancestry feat of Stubborn Persistence. We also have access to Defensive Robes and Weapon Specialization. At level 14, we are going with the class feat of Quicken Casting and the skill feat of Schooled in Secrets. At level 15, go ahead and increase your Strength, Constitution, and Charisma each by 2, while increasing your Intelligence by 1. We are now legendary in the Arcana skill. We're going to grab the feat of Thorough Search, and we are now a Master Spellcaster. Moving on to level 16, we're going with the class feat of Basic Sorcerer Spellcasting and the skill feat of Bizarre Magic. At level 17, we are experts in diplomacy, and we are going with the ancestry feat of Channel the God Mind. This will give us access to the 9th level spell, True Seeing. This is actually perfect since we have seen a couple of instances where Gwen is able to see an invisible creature or any other form of concealment. It just makes sense for Gwen to have. We're also going to get access to Resolve. Moving on to level 18, we're going with Ritualist Dedication as our class feat and the skill feat of Intimidating Glare. I went with the Ritualist Dedication feat. This probably should have been chosen much sooner in the build, but when Gwen first got access to her spells, we saw a lot of ritual type spells in those younger years, and we still see a couple of those ritual-esque spells when she is grown up as an adult. Not as often, but we do see them used. At level 19, we're going to be Masters of Diplomacy. We're going to get the feat of Toughness. We also have access to Archwizard Spellcraft, and we are Legendary Spellcasters. At level 20, we're going with the ability increases to Dexterity, Constitution, and Wisdom for our +2, and we'll increase Intelligence by 1. We are now trained in Stealth, and we're going with the class feat of Metamagic Mastery and the skill feat of Aura Sight. And with that being said, that is all for today's video. I do apologize for any weirdness and for that rant that I went through. The retcon of Quinn Tennyson of becoming an Anodite just irks me a little. And if you were to want to go for a closer representation of an Anodite form, you might want to check out Starfinder 2nd edition when it inevitably comes out. I don't know when that's going to be. As far as I know, it is still in the playtest phase. But since Starfinder is more focused on space and a bunch of alien races, you are going to find a better suited race in Starfinder when they inevitably release it. But with that being said, I still hope that you enjoyed this video, and I will see you all next time when I am online.